Well, you had an interesting game last night at Lambeau. The Green Bay Packers are back. Jordan Love might be the future for the Green Bay Packers. And the Kansas City Chiefs, things that make you go, Eagles against the 49ers. I did wonder, wow. There were 2-point spreads where I went, Oregon double-digit favorite against Washington? Didn't see it. Niners favored on the road against Philadelphia? Should have saw it. Saw it really quick. But that was one of those moments where you go, I'm watching the Philadelphia game, and I'm thinking, just don't get too beat up because you got the Cowboys. That's next week. That might be as important as a Dallas game has had in a long, long time. And here's Philadelphia getting beat up. I mean, physically, mentally, they got roughed up. And now you got Dallas. And I just kept thinking, first of all, they had players who were still in the game, like Jalen Hurts. I'm thinking, 2 minutes ago, what are we doing here? Get him out. Swift got roughed up. Get him out. Live to see another day. But that one kind of surprised me, just how methodical San Francisco was. And I know we love to talk about Brock Purdy, MVP. I know Christian McCaffrey is scoring touchdowns at a record-setting pace. The person who makes the Niners go is Deebo Samuel. He was healthy. And you got a healthy dose of Deebo Samuel. That was impressive. So they rough up the Eagles. Packers hold off the Chiefs. Dolphins roll. Texans hanging in there. Lions held on. The Colts and Minshew mania. You know where I stand with Gardner Minshew. I think he's a really good backup quarterback, but he's playing really good football for the Colts. I know, maybe they're not beating really good teams, but they're winning. And that's all you need to do. Just ask the Steelers. Hey, can you beat the Cardinals at home? What are you doing? Oh, the weather interruptions. Well, it interrupted Arizona too. That's one of those games where you went, that shocked me. And then, guess who they have coming up Thursday night? The dangerous New England Patriots.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Thursday night football. How grumpy is Al Michaels going to be on Thursday night? Yes, Paulie.
Should they give Al, out of respect, the night off? Because I think it's going to be, if Kenny Pickett's
Why don't they give us the night off? How about we just don't show that game?
I think it's Trubisky versus Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're not going to be on the promo, though. It has to be Tomlin and Belichick. Has to be. By the way, or maybe T.J. Watt, throw him in there, and Bill Belichick. Whoever it is for the Steelers, it'll be Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick didn't have a good press conference yesterday after they were shut out at home by the Chargers.
What do you identify as maybe some of the missteps, that have contributed to the offense not producing this season?
Yeah, I just answered that question, Mike.
I guess I'm trying to figure.
Listen to the season review. We're talking about the game. Game was just over. Happy to talk about the game.
I don't know if he was happy to talk about that game.
Happy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm happy to talk about it. No, I'm required to talk about it. Bengals at the Jags. The Jags, now they're favored by 10. You need a nice, clean, crisp, dominating performance here. You need to put up, some pretty good numbers just so you stay in that picture there in the AFC. Brock Purdy, through his first 17 starts, has a passer rating of 116.9. That's the highest for a player through his first 17 starts in NFL history. I don't know if he's an MVP. It's like we're searching for an MVP. And if you want to put Dak Prescott in there, put Dak Prescott in there. The guy who changes the game, it feels like, more so than anybody else this year, is Tyreek Hill. Like, it's just, you have to know where he is, because if you don't, or that you have single coverage like the Commanders did, which I did not understand. I'm like, okay, maybe that's a busted play. And then he did it again. And I'm going, oh, my goodness. But Brock Purdy threw for 314 yards, 4 touchdowns. And, this is a team that was 10-1. And you put up those kind of numbers. That doesn't happen this late in the season. But it certainly did, and it was very impressive. There was some bad blood. That was almost like a college football atmosphere. That was like Alabama, Georgia. And it was good TV for a while, and it was chippy. Yeah, Paulie.
What did you think about the play? Dre Greenlaw, the linebacker for the 49ers, is running over to the sidelines. People thought of a little bit of a late hit or a roughing, and there's coaches and other people getting in Dre Greenlaw's face, including a security guard that works for the Eagles. What do you think of how that played out?
Well, the security guard is going to he's going to hear from the home office. Your job is to protect, not incite or engage. And what he was doing, at first I thought it was an assistant coach. And I thought, okay, interesting, back and forth. And then I realized this is a security guy. First of all, Greenlaw, you have to understand what's at stake here. Now, it didn't cost them. But I saw, 3 or 4 different players get thrown out of games this weekend for throwing a punch. If you're going to throw a punch at a football player and he's got a helmet on, it's going to hurt you more. A guy on the sideline, but Greenlaw is a really good player, and he got tossed because of it. It's just, I know emotions run high. You got 7 seconds of man-on-man, crazy, I'm going to crush you, I'm going to dominate you, and then all of a sudden you go, okay, go back to the huddle. And then 6 more seconds of violence, and then you, okay, all right, I'm going back to the huddle. I don't know what that feeling must be like, but you throw, I think he threw Devontae Smith down, and was it rough, over the top? Yes. And it's right by the Eagles bench? Yes. I get it. But you just can't engage. Either side. I mean, it's worse that the security guy's engaging. I mean, he's there to protect. He's not supposed to be engaging in this. Yes.
Like, that is way worse to me. That dude shouldn't be affecting anything on the field.
No.
He was, facing the wrong way. He should have been watching everybody behind him.
Yeah.
He's not there to protect the coach from players.
That's one of those, you're so close and you want to be in the action.
And a big dude.
Yeah. Probably a high school football player.
It's like when you go to a bar and the bouncers are the one instigating all the fight, and then they throw you out, and you're like, dude, come on, you're supposed to be here to stop fights, not start them.
Yeah. By the way, Sunday night, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles take on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. NFC East showdown, Sunday, 7 Eastern, NBC and Peacock. Wow. When's the last time Dallas had a game of this magnitude? A decade? Maybe longer? This is huge. They can't afford to lose this game. I thought they were going to win in Philadelphia. Probably should have. This one, you have to win this game. Must win. And you get Philadelphia coming off getting banged up and blown out by San Francisco. And this is that stretch here where Dallas is going to tell us a whole lot. Where they stand in the NFC, and also where Dak Prescott is, standing with the MVP. It's all here. Dak Prescott, you do this, you go 3-1 in these 4-game stretch, you go 4-0, you're probably going to win the MVP. And it's about home field advantage. That's what's so important. Instead of going on the road for your playoffs, being able to have home field, this game is huge for Dallas. And Philly, too, because you want to know, San Francisco went through that 3-game losing streak, and we're like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden, what we saw yesterday, it's like, oh, okay. Because that was as impressive. When you think Philadelphia is the best team in football, San Francisco is favored, slight favored, and they go in, and that was embarrassing for Philadelphia. And give credit to San Francisco. But Deebo Samuel, if he's healthy, he's on the field, I have an advantage that not many teams have. The only other team that might have a better, bigger advantage would be the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill. When he's on the field, I don't know if, I'm guessing somebody asked Ron Rivera, the Commanders coach, why were you in single coverage on Tyreek Hill? What were you trying to trick him? Like reverse psychology? Yeah, we're not going to cover you. Let's see what you can do. How about 78 yards?
Trying to tire him out?
Yeah. How about 72 yards? Yeah. He's not going to be good in the second half because he had these long touchdowns in the first half.
Just like in Rocky, okay? You just keep taking the body shots. It's going to tire him out.
All right. So there were some impressive wins. The Eagles getting blown out. Packers hold off the Chiefs. Now, I've been in Jordan Love's corner since he got the job. I thought they needed to move on from Aaron Rodgers. I think the Packers have won the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, and I think Jordan Love is a franchise quarterback. Now, I did hear from a lot of you who said, how's your franchise quarterback doing a couple of weeks ago? And you were right, but it's a learning process. Hasn't played many games. What's he played, 10 games in his career? Tough October, but in the conditions, given a Sunday night standalone game, he's had, 12 starts? He's played pretty well.
22 touchdowns, 10 picks, and his percentage is going up.
Yes, he looked the part last night. And I think Green Bay, it sets up. Green Bay can win and get in the playoffs. If you pull up their schedule, they can win the rest of their games. Now, I'm not saying they are, but if they play the way they did last night, they are. Yeah, Paulie?
Green Bay is at the Giants, host the Buccaneers, at the Panthers, at the Vikings, host the Bears. They will be favored in every game.
So they could run the gamut here. Make the playoffs. How many wins would that give them? That give them 11?
Where are they at right now? They're that'd be 11-6 if they ran the table.
11-6. Pretty good.
Detroit's 9-3, but this is more of, wild card.
Yes. Well, if I said to you in October you're a Green Bay fan, even at the beginning of the year, now I thought they could challenge for the division. I thought, okay, you lose Rodgers, but they haven't been healthy. It's the youngest team in pro football. And I think that, trying to get everybody healthy, running back situation hasn't been fluid. But I thought that he played pretty well. And, that's one of those games I almost focused on the Chiefs, where I go, slow start. Eventually those things catch up to you. Normally, that's where the Chiefs come back and win. And when it was, 21-19, or I thought, here we go. Chiefs going to let the Packers hang in there, and then they're going to, kill them at the end. But Green Bay played good football, and you beat the Chiefs. I don't care when and where, you beat the Chiefs. And Jordan Love, that's a big game for him. It now starting to feel like Aaron Rodgers won't come back and play if they're not in the playoff mix. I'm going to just wait until we get there. I'm just going to wait. It's all the speculating, all the talk, McAfee conversation. I'm just going to wait. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, okay. Yes, Todd.
Are we going to see him jogging in place next on the sideline, jumping rope, just to let us know, hey, I'm getting closer, maybe?
Probably. But I've said that this was about Aaron Rodgers. I mean, cleared to practice, got a 21-day window. This is about Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it's about the Jets. I think it's about Aaron Rodgers. Because that team is not good. They're not going to be in the playoff mix. But it felt like Aaron Rodgers wanted to get back. Prove a point? Fine. Prove a point. Yeah, Paul.
Do you think that part of Rodgers' rationale, especially the 3 or 4 weeks after he got injured, when he said, well, end of the season, he started dripping that out there, was to motivate his teammates to stay playoff eligible? Like, I'll do my best to be back. You got to do your best to keep us in the mix for a wild card spot. Maybe in his mind.
Yeah, but I don't know if the players go, he's gone, we shouldn't try hard.
No, I know. I guess motivational tool.
Well, if you needed that, hey, guys, I'm out, but you keep playing really hard because I'm going to come back and save you. Yes.
Well, yeah, but the idea that motivation isn't real isn't accurate either, though. When you lose your superstar quarterback that you built the whole season around, people get deflated and they don't play the same. I'm not saying that the offensive linemen don't try as hard, but they know that the guy who's back there isn't as good as the other guy.
But that's when you have to try harder because the guy is not as good.
Right. In a perfect world, that's the way it would be. But in reality, that's not how life works.
Yeah. I watched the game yesterday. I don't know why. I'm morbidly fascinated with the Patriots against the Chargers, the Falcons against the Jets. And you're just going, this is so bad. but I can't stop watching it. And then you're going, all right, there's some glimpses here, but if Rodgers comes back, great. It's content for me. If he doesn't, still content. But I do think this is about Aaron coming back, modern medicine. His way is different than yours, and his way is the right way. Fine. Whatever works for him.